Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, guys. This is a story that's truly hitting close to home for all of us who bleed burgundy and gold. The Washington Commanders, a team with a rich history, a dedicated fan base, and aspirations of climbing back to the top of the NFL mountain, just took a significant blow. We all know how tough this league is, how every play, every decision, every injury can turn the tide of a season. And right now, the big news is that Austin Ekeler, a key piece in Washington's backfield, will be sidelined for the rest of the season. That's right. The recent reports confirm that Ekeler has suffered a torn Achilles tendon, an injury devastating enough to end his campaign before it even really got started. At 30 years old, Ekeler was entering what many consider the prime years of his NFL career. He's in his 9th season now, and it's not just his rushing ability that made him so valuable. It's his versatility, his hands out of the backfield, his knack for making plays in crucial moments. Last season, Ekeler ran for over 370 yards and gained a similar amount, around 370 yards, through the air, making him one of the most dynamic running backs in the league. His experience and skill set were exactly what Washington needed to bolster their offense, especially after trading Brian Robinson Jr. to the San Francisco 49ers just before the season started. That move was a statement of intent, signaling that the Commanders trusted Ekeler as their primary ball carrier and pass catcher in the backfield. What makes this injury even more impactful is the timing. We're just into week 2 of the NFL season, and Ekeler, in his 2nd season with Washington, was already making his mark. In the first 2 games, he had 43 rushing yards on 14 carries and caught 5 passes for 38 yards. Not eye-popping numbers, sure, but enough to show that he was settling into a rhythm, becoming a reliable target for quarterback Jayden Daniels, last season's AP NFL Rookie of the Year. Ekeler's ability to contribute both on the ground and through the air provided a much-needed dual threat for Washington's offense, which had been striving to find consistency after a somewhat rocky start to the season. And yet, in that heartbreaking play during the 4th quarter of their loss to the Green Bay Packers, Ekeler fell to the ground without contact, an indication of how sudden and severe this injury was. He was helped off the field, kept his weight off his right leg, and was eventually taken to the locker room. The MRI confirmed the worst, a torn Achilles tendon. That's a season-ending injury that sidelines players for months, sometimes even the entire year, and for someone like Ekeler, it's a huge blow not just to the team but to his own career momentum. Now, the loss of Ekeler leaves Washington in a tricky spot. They had been counting on him to be a leader and a key offensive piece moving forward. His absence means the team has to adjust quickly. The immediate candidate to step into a more prominent role is Jachary Krosky-Merritt, the 7th-round rookie who made his debut with a decent performance in Week 1, rushing for 82 yards and a touchdown against the New York Giants. Against Green Bay, Krosky-Merritt had 4 carries for 17 yards, and while those numbers aren't eye-popping, they show promise. He's a young player, still learning, but his opportunity to shine will now be accelerated. This is a chance for him to prove that he belongs in the NFL's big stage, and for the Commanders, it's crucial that he rises to the occasion. But let's not forget, this isn't just about one player being out. The ripple effects are felt across the entire roster. Washington's coaching staff will have to rethink their offensive strategies, perhaps lean even more on their passing game, and rely heavily on the leadership of quarterback Jayden Daniels. Daniels, last season's Rookie of the Year, has shown flashes of brilliance and the ability to elevate the offense, but losing a versatile weapon like Ekeler complicates things. It puts more pressure on Daniels to distribute the ball effectively and make plays with the players still available. Injuries like these also remind us of the brutal reality of NFL football. Ekeler's injury echoes the same heartbreak that befell other players around the league, and it underscores how important depth is for a team's success. Washington's roster, while talented, will now have to show resilience and adaptability. The coaching staff will need to get creative, perhaps adjusting blocking schemes, utilizing other running backs like the remaining backs on the roster, or even shifting some of the offensive play calling to compensate for the loss. But beyond the immediate tactical adjustments, what does this mean for Washington's long-term aspirations? Well, it's a tough setback, no doubt about it. Eckler was viewed as a vital piece in their puzzle, a player capable of changing the game in an instant. His injury could slow down the momentum the team was trying to build, especially after an encouraging Week 1 win against the Giants. That victory, a 21-6 score, showed some promising signs of growth, strong defense, disciplined play, and efficient offense. But the loss of Eckler complicates that picture. Washington's defense, led by their talented defensive line and secondary, has been a bright spot. Players like Dietrich Wise Jr., who also suffered a season-ending injury during the same game, have been crucial to their success. Wise, in his first season with the Commanders after 8 years with the Patriots, was playing well before he unfortunately tore his quadriceps. The team's depth on defense will be tested, but their focus has to be on maintaining their intensity and staying resilient. Looking ahead, the upcoming schedule becomes even more critical. Washington faces the Las Vegas Raiders next, a game that's now more challenging without Eckler's offensive firepower. The team will need to rally around Daniels and their remaining weapons, perhaps relying more on their tight ends like John Bates, who has been a reliable target, and maybe even giving more opportunities to other emerging players on offense. The coaching staff will have to devise creative ways to keep the offense balanced and unpredictable, even without their star runner. This situation also puts a spotlight on the importance of team culture and mental toughness. Eckler's injury is a setback, sure, but it's also an opportunity for other players to step up, to show their grit, and to demonstrate that the Commanders are more than just a collection of individuals. They're a team that fights together. Historically, teams that face adversity like this often discover new strengths and forge even stronger bonds. This could be the moment where young players like Krosky Merritt step into the spotlight and make a name for themselves. Throughout the league, we've seen how injuries can reshape seasons. For some teams, losing a star player might mean a quick end to their playoff hopes. For others, it becomes a rallying cry, a challenge to show what they're truly made of. Washington, with their talented defense and the leadership of Jaden Daniels, has the pieces to weather this storm. But make no mistake, it's going to require a collective effort, strategic adjustments, and a lot of mental toughness. And speaking of the division, the NFC East, this news could have ripple effects beyond just Washington. The division has been fiercely competitive, with teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all vying for supremacy. A key injury like Eckler's could give a slight edge to some rivals, or it could serve as motivation for Washington to prove that they're still a force to be reckoned with, even in the face of adversity. The division is shaping up to be one of the most exciting and unpredictable in recent memory, and every injury, every game, every moment counts. As fans, we always hope for the best, but we also understand how tough this league can be. Eckler's injury is a setback, but it's also a chapter in the story of resilience and determination that defines the NFL. Washington has shown flashes of potential, and now more than ever, they need to dig deep. The season is long, and there's still plenty of football ahead. The coaching staff, led by their head coach, will need to rally the troops, make strategic calls, and get the most out of every player on the roster. In the end, this is what makes the NFL so compelling. It's not just about the stars, the highlight reels, or the flashy plays. How teams respond to adversity, how they adapt and evolve when faced with setbacks. Washington has a proud history, and despite this tough news, the passion and resilience of their fans and players remain unbreakable. We all know that sometimes, it's in these moments of hardship that true champions are forged. So for all of you watching, stay tuned, stay supportive, and keep that fire burning for your Washington Commanders. Because this season, more than ever, it's about heart, grit, and never giving up. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Commanders have a tough road ahead, but they're also a team that's shown resilience before. The next few weeks will be critical, not just for their playoff aspirations, but for establishing a new identity without Eckler. Jacare Kroski-Merritt's opportunity is now, and how he responds could define his career. The coaching staff will have their hands full, adjusting game plans to compensate for the loss, possibly leaning more on other offensive weapons and evolving their scheme to maximize what they have. It's a test of leadership, adaptability, and unity, and Washington will need all those qualities to stay competitive. And let's not forget, this injury also puts a spotlight on the importance of depth in the NFL. Teams that have a strong roster and a deep bench often find ways to turn adversity into opportunity. The Commanders have some talented players who can step up, young guys, role players, and veterans alike. The challenge now is for everyone to elevate their game, to fill the void left by Eckler and Wise, and to keep pushing toward their ultimate goal, a playoff run and who knows, maybe even a shot at the Super Bowl. So, fans, as we watch this story unfold, remember that football is a game of resilience and heart. It's about how a team responds when faced with setbacks like these. Washington has that spirit, and with the support of their passionate fans, they can come out stronger. This injury might be a hurdle, but it's also an opportunity for others to step up, for new stars to emerge, and for the team to demonstrate that they're built to overcome adversity. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Do you believe this injury will derail their season, or do you see it as a chance for others to shine? How do you think Jacare Kroski-Merritt will handle this bigger role? And what adjustments do you think the coaching staff should make? Get involved, share your insights, and let's keep this conversation going. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. We're in this together, and the passion of this fan base is what keeps the spirit alive, no matter what challenges come our way.